Hey guys, I am back with a new video and a new hair color. I am recording at night, so of course everything looks dark in the background, and that's because it is. Today is the first official day of my husband's new work schedule, like his, I guess, like permanent work schedule at the very least for the next year. And he is working nights now, which he was always a first shift worker, working early mornings, and so to suddenly have him completely flip-flopping everything is really stressful for everybody in the house, because I'm gonna struggle to record at night because I have to be up really early in the mornings to take the kids to work, since I do all the driving, and I'm not gonna be able to record during the day because he'll be home sleeping in the room where I have all of my dolls and record stuff. So I'm just gonna have to squeeze stuff in when I can. For that reason, the videos might be a little shorter just because I'm not always gonna have the amount of free time I want to have. In fact, like right now, in my pajamas and everything, I should actually be in bed playing Animal Crossing and drinking my hot tea. At the very least, I've got the hot tea. So anyway, I don't know if you guys play Animal Crossing. If you do, I will drop down my dream code down below, and definitely check out my village. Tell me what you guys think. Like, throw me dream codes for your villages. I'd love to go see them. Hit me up on Instagram about stuff. I actually have an Animal Crossing Instagram. I'll drop the link down for that below as well. Because other than dolls, that's kind of what I do, is I hang out with my cat and I play Animal Crossing. And I buy stuffed animals. I'm not really the most exciting person in the entire universe. That's okay though. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about something very exciting though. We have finally gotten into dyeing series 3. I've decided I'm going to do like 2 dolls per video. That way, because I know a lot of you haven't even managed to catch up and even find series 3 in your area. My West Coast friends especially, like, they're still looking. I can't even imagine what it feels like for my international friends, because they don't even know when, if, anything. So there is that. Alright, you guys, so of course we did our deboxing, and one of the first dolls that I dyed was actually this Daria doll. Now here she is in her out-of-box form. I mean, she's got different clothes on, but this is her normal hair. Okay guys, so hear me out right quick. This video is about to take a wild turn because I've already washed my makeup off, changed into a warmer sweater because I was chilly, got into bed, put this video into my editing program, and then realized I don't even know why, but for some reason there's an entire chunk missing. Like, I don't know if my phone just said it was recording and just it wasn't. Like, I don't know what happened. I genuinely do not know. It's not like, it's not deleted because I have the first half and this video never actually stopped. It was one long piece, but there's like a huge chunk in the middle that is just gone. Like, I don't actually know. Anyway, so as I was saying in this part, here is Daria with her stock hair. She's got these kind of candy cane peppermint stripes going on that I didn't really super love. My huge thing with Daria is that beautiful hair color. It's kind of like a hot pink with like this pale baby pink highlights. Beautiful makeup. It's kind of a plum and mauve color. Beautiful eyes. They're like an ice blue with like a dot of pale pink in them. I mean, her stock clothes are really beautiful. I love her second outfit with like the red roses. She's got her first dress, which is that magic dress, which has got the shimmery hot pink stuff. She has a one pair of shoes that don't really make sense, the heels, because they're like a coral red. Nothing about her matches. Her hair, her makeup, her clothing, none of it matches. It's not even like, okay, her hair is off but her clothing and her makeup matches. Nothing. None of it. Nada. So I really love the thing that you guys picked for her. When it came to dyeing her, I feel like it was a really good choice because I don't know, it made her make more sense, honestly. Like, the darker hair color really brought out the eyes and the makeup a lot more. Again, I don't even know how much of this video is missing right now, so I'm just gonna go over what I can remember. I let you guys vote in my Instagram stories. In fact, you can hop over to my Instagram right now and check out my stories because I think they're still voting up for 2 of the girls. And then if you go into my little, what are they called? You know, where you like save your stories where people can see them later. If you go into that and check it out, you can actually see the winners of the other votes. And then I'll have voting like that on the future. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, maybe hop over, do that, and be able to vote in the future for other dolls, dye colors. These guys, I do plan, like I said, on buying at least 3 of each one of these guys to dye. I really want to see her in a red. I really want to see her in an orange. And then of course I have the one that I just did. And same goes for all of them. So even if your vote doesn't win to get the very first round of dyeing, more than likely it's still going to be done. You might just have to wait a little bit extra time since series 3 aren't super widely found right now. So again, like I literally don't even know how much is missing, but like it's a lot. Real quick, the one that won out of the 3 that were there for Daria, or 4 that were there for Daria, there was red, orange, burgundy, and then a sunset color. You guys have seen me do sunset before on Sunny, and for whatever reason I just never really loved it. Like I loved Sunny, but I just couldn't vibe with them together. It's because it was made for Daria and the doll gods knew. So I'm really glad that that's what won. Now, when you do the Instagram voting, it's got a little slider so people can slide to the choice that they like. The thing is, it does an average of those things. So everyone pretty much voted for either 1, which was red, or 4, which was sunset. But the one that it showed having won was burgundy. So I actually had to go in and count the votes properly. And I mean, on both of them, almost 500 people voted for the first 2. So yeah, I had to count them, tally them all up, and sunset was what won. Here is your sunset Daria that you guys picked. So the ends of her hair are the Rit all-purpose scarlet red, and then I left some of her own pink in there, and then put a little bit of fuchsia over it, like really quick and easy. Then the next color would be violet, and then indigo. And for some reason, that's the other thing. I don't know if it's just because my phone doesn't have a ton of memory left, but it's not even like, oh, it's deleting like entire videos. It's deleting random chunks of random videos. So I, for whatever reason, like I thought maybe I just like forgot to film my doing her indigo, but like the entire video was gone, or like maybe I deleted it and didn't realize it. I'm still not sure what happened to it, but yeah, so the video you're going to see of me putting it together, that's why. This is the ombre dip dye that you guys have seen me do in a ton of other videos. I did her ends first, and then I bent her hair like this, and then dipped it into the pink, and then held her like this, did the violet first, and then the indigo over the top of that. So you can see it's a very, I know she's got the same rooting pattern that all the dolls seem to have nowadays. For the most part, when her hair is down, like it covers it, so I'm just, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. So yeah, that is how I did her hair. I'm sorry, it's so tangly right now because Sausage likes to get up on the shelves and occasionally just flip the dolls off on the floor, so I'll have their hair all brushed and nice and perfectly coiffed, and then he'll just like fling them. Anyways, so yeah, so that is the color combination I used on her hair. It's scarlet, fuchsia, violet, and then indigo. I will include like the video clips of how I did it. But I honestly think that it brought out her face so much more. So here she is with the stock version. And let me tell you, it has been so hard, you guys, not to post the pictures I took of her. Like, I just started posting them because I was editing the video and then had to stop editing to come and re-record this entire part. So, yeah, no, I don't know. I absolutely love her. I think she came out great. The other thing I did was, trying to remember what all I said in the video that's missing, is that I dyed her jacket. And this, honestly, was just, you could do it as a sink dip. I did it in the pot because I already had the dye put in there and I didn't want to have like 2 areas of dye, but it wasn't even boiling when I did this. I did it as a dip dye really quickly in just like the warm, basically sink version of the water. I didn't love the weird pale peach version of it. It doesn't really go with stripes because they're white. It doesn't go with her hair. It doesn't go with anything. So I dipped this really quick, and the reason I didn't do it as a boil is I didn't want to dye the threads of the leaves. I wanted them to stay green, so I just made it a very quick dip dye. So yeah, alright, like I said, I will definitely get more to that. Hopefully I won't have to get back up and re-record more of this. Like, hopefully this is everything. The chunk I was missing was a lot longer, so I didn't want to overly rehash how that's done because you can pretty much see it in any of my previous videos. The next doll that we dyed for this week, a lot of you guys told me that this was like your least favorite of all of the series 3. A lot of it I think is that some people said it's because she has the series 1 face still, and the newer face molds have a lot more personality than the originals, so she just didn't quite have that oomph that everybody else had. A lot of folks said it's because her makeup is so heavy. Now I will say mine, it's not even that bad. It's pretty easygoing. I actually saw like one girl posted where the dark blue was rimmed really thick and heavy all the way around the eye. Like, it literally made poor Gabriella look like she just spent up a night crying and rubbing her eyes with mascara on. Also, I love this dress so much that I wanted to try and dye it. Most of Gabriella's clothes, I feel like her skirt, her coat aren't going to be things that dye well. Her blue shoes might, but the snakeskin ones obviously probably aren't going to do much of anything. I think I just dropped an earring. I don't know. Anyway, but her super pale hair with the super dark eye makeup and then the super pale eyes put a lot of folks off. They really didn't love the combination. So she was the next one I dyed. Again, I posted in my Instagram stories. Like I said, I'll link my Instagram down below if you guys want to follow me. I think that all the voting is almost done. I think I have like the last 2 girls up now, which would be Emmy and Daphne, I think. Everybody's already voted for their Cheryl and whatever. But if you guys want to see what colors they're going to be dyed in the future, like, hop over to my Instagram. In my what are they called when you save your stories? I don't know what they're called. Anyway, but in those little things that you can scroll over and look at past stories, if you guys check it out, there is one that's like dye voting, and you can go in there and see what colors won so far. With Gabriella, I think if I remember correctly, there was a pastel blend, which is actually one that I wanted to do on a previous Violet, and I thought that it would suit Violet's hair, but like those silver streaks really didn't dye particularly well, so it didn't turn out as nice as I wanted it. I ended up, I think, dyeing over her and then selling her off, that Violet. So there was a pastel mix, and then there was like a really dark blue was one of the choices, and then I don't remember what the other choice was, to be honest with you. Oh, anyway, I'll have them up here so you guys will be able to see them. Point is, the pastel mix won, and so I was really excited about that because I was so disappointed when it didn't work on Violet, and I knew that it was something I did eventually want to do. Gabriella had like these streaks in her hair that were either like white or like a super pale blue. Like, they were really light colored, and so I just kind of focused on dyeing those, but I did dye over some of the blue in streaks. Now again, this is a technique that you guys can literally go back to several of my older videos and check out. It's a very common technique where I literally just take strands of hair from around the head and dip dye them in the sink in hot water and dye and a little bit of vinegar. Like, this is no boiling, no anything. I will say, make sure that you have a stainless steel sink, just because the dye can stain if you have, like, you know, plastic, porcelain. I'm not sure about porcelain, but like, just on the safe side, I have a stainless steel sink, so it's a little easier for me to put dye in there and not worry about it, because even if it kind of discolors it briefly, I just take steel wool and it's good to go. I assume that you can use steel wool in those. Well, I do. Anyway, so in this case, I used neon green, which honestly just went mint. It didn't really go super neon. I could probably boil it and get that neon in there, and I might still, just to make it look more like the reference material that you guys voted on. I used purple because it makes a very good lavender in a sink dye, violet so that it would still be purple but like a different shade, and then petal pink, and I think that was it. I think it was just those 4. Anyway, like I said, they'll all be up here, so if my memory is off, it's okay, because we have reference. Anyway, so the winning color was this pastel mix, and here is Gabriella with that pastel mix. Like I said, I mean, you can kind of see the neon green just kind of went minty. So there's that. Again, she's been flung off a shelf so many times. But, and then, yeah, you can see, like, there are pink streaks. The purples, some are, like, lavender, some are a little darker than lavender. She's still got some of the original blue in, so I did leave some of her hair that original blue color just to help with, you know, making sure that it kind of still matched her eyeshadow. So, here's kind of farther away. It's really, really pretty pastel blend in person. And I feel like, honestly, just having that extra pop of color looks so much better with her makeup. Like, I don't know why. It's not like her hair is really darker per se, but I think it just brightens up her face enough. Maybe I don't know what it is. I definitely like it better. You guys may, you may not. But again, this is a very easy sink dye for those who decide to do it. It's literally just picking out a couple of strands randomly, dipping them, rinsing them, picking out a couple of more strands randomly, dipping them, rinsing them. Super, super easy technique to do. Like, so you can see, like, it's just random sections and they all just kind of blend together really nicely. Like, when I pick through her hair, like, it's just, some strands will be, like, thinner, some will be thicker. You know, I kind of try to space them out so there's not too many of any one color in any one place. And then I also dyed her sweater and her dress in that same sink dye of purple that I did for the streaks in her hair. And I don't know why, but I kind of like it better purple too. I know not everybody super loved this sweater. Like, a lot of people said, like, it was the most ugly piece of clothing on all of series 3. I'm trying to think. No, Emmy's sweater would be, it won that title. I don't care what y'all say. The embroidered purse was no, I mean, I know it's based off an actual designer, but look, designers are artists. Art is subjective. We don't all always agree on what's artsy and what's yikes. So that's a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's really much cuter in lavender. She's got a pair of violets, socks and shoes on. Because I thought, like, these kind of silvery socks go well. So the little R's stay the same initial silver, but the blue in the background of her dress does dye. So, like, again, there they are together. Oh, it's this way, huh? Sorry, these poor girls have been knocked off the shelf so many times. I used to honestly, like, just put, like, a little tiny thumbtack through the end of their clothing and tack them to the wall so that they couldn't fall off. But honestly, like, I was getting so many holes in my walls, I'm gonna have to fill in now at some point. I mean, inevitably. So yeah, I just quit doing that because it was honestly making more of a mess than what it was worth. If I didn't move them around as much, it wouldn't be that bad because it's like a single little quick hole and it's really easy to fill in. But I move these guys around constantly every time because I had them rainbow ordered and I had to move them around so often that it honestly just got exhausting. Somebody on Facebook had mentioned putting them in order of characters so they could see all the characters together. I did that. Honestly, it's so much better because now when I have to add somebody, I just kind of tuck them in at the end, or if I add a new series, I just tuck it in at the end. It's not nearly as stressful. I think the only time I'll have to really move them again is when I get that new shelf up that I was telling you guys about. So yeah, I don't know. As of right now, I don't know which will be the next two to get dyed. It really just depends on which two because those were like the two that I found in the stores this past weekend. But I go to like all the Walmarts at some point in time during the week. We have like 3 or 4 close by. So I don't know who the next two to get dyed will be. But again, their colors are already picked out by you guys from voting on my Instagram stories. And of course, that's going to be a future thing too. Like, I love seeing you guys vote. And the interaction and seeing, you know, what you guys' preferences are. It's kind of a weird thing that I noticed with the voting system on there because it's like a little slider. Because it averages, if a bunch of people vote for the first one and the third one, it'll say that the second one is the winner. So I actually had to go in and tally up all of the votes. And the thing is, like, over 450 people on each one voted. Like, close to 500 people on each one voted. So I'm sitting there tallying like 500 votes to make sure that we have an accurate winner. Yeah, I don't actually, I don't know if I actually do well, because sometimes I'll like kind of space out and I'll be like, wait, did I already count this one? But a lot of them are very clear cut. Like, you guys are pretty adamant about what you want, so it hasn't been too bad. Gabriella's, like, I barely even had to tally anything because it was really obvious that you guys picked her color. Daria's, actually, it said the burgundy one because everybody voted for the first and the fourth one, and a handful of people voted for the second one. I think, like, literally, like, maybe 10 people voted for burgundy out of like 500, and so I actually had to sit down and count them all up. But it was still pretty obvious early on that that was the one that won. Like, you guys, you're pretty adamant, you know what you want. So as far as the future ones, I will say for Cheryl, man, Cheryl's hair is great. There's so much I could do. There's one I actually saw afterwards that I still might do in the future as well. It's like a neon yellow into like a flaming orange. But I kind of did a reverse of that on one of my poppies, where it's like red into like flaming orange into kind of lighter orange tip. So we'll see. It might even be something I save for a future Sunny, because Lord knows they're putting out enough of them. I'm telling you guys, I'm ready for that Malibu line. I'm ready for sand and pearl and aquamarine and all these great light colors. Like, I'm really digging that. So for Cheryl, I mean, there's a beautiful emerald green, I think, that's in the running. There's, oh my gosh, I can't remember all of them. Yeah, there's one that's like this color, basically, like a little more brown. It's a little more like Cheryl in the TV show, or the YouTube series colored. And I think that one won actually already. I really can't remember what the first one. Like I said, I'll have it up here so you guys can see it. With Daphne, one of them is, I don't know if you guys ever seen the Lolita wigs, where it's like big curly pigtailed wigs and they're split color. There's one that's like half mint and half brown, which the Azone Kiki Pop dolls have one that's coming out that's mint chocolate. Okay, I can't really afford like $300 and something for a doll, because Bear will be like, you have lost your mind. These guys are expensive enough. But so that was one of the options. Like I said, I don't remember. I'm going to show you guys the options right quick. There's Cheryl's. Here's Daphne's. And then, of course, there is Emmy's, which I think is one that's still up to vote on right now. And George's, which I think is still up to vote on right now, if I'm correct. Anyway, so I will see you guys in the near future. Like I said, which two I dye this week really just depends on what I'm able to find in the stores. Fingers crossed for me, and fingers crossed for all of my friends who have not found Series 3 yet, that they will soon. I am going to go play Animal Crossing until I doze off. Alright, you guys, I'll see you next week.